yeah, I'll start growing the grandpa now. And then see how long it takes, how far we can get, whether we can finish it. I will take a break, maybe in about an hour, to start cooking, and we'll just see how things go. So I'll start loading that up in the background. Excuse me. Because the good thing is I don't have work tomorrow, so I don't have to turn in particularly early. I can enjoy Halloween weekend to its fullest, sorry. And oh, game's up. Right, hang on. Oh, noise. Right. 1 second. Oh, we're gonna have to change the resolution on this a little bit. Right. Excuse me. Right. So this is a windowed game, so that means I can actually see what's going on in my setup while I'm playing. Oh, right, okay. The mouse is a little bit slow. Okay. Game is designed to be played with a mouse. That's fine, I've got one. Excuse me. I've got a bit of a little bit of a frog in the throat there. Input required of you is based around clicking mouse buttons. Right mouse button will change a cursor's image and function. Oh, like that. Only when pointing, indicated by the extended. Yes, you can use the player interact with certain menu buttons and prompts. Please click below in the pointing mode to continue. Second cursor moves cursed by extended hand. Interacting with objects. Put it in trash. Okay. Right. Don't be afraid to experiment. Keep an open mind about using your hand. Okay. You can digits 1, 2, 3 on your keyboard number to reposition the trash can below. Oh. Okay. Oh. What should be changed? The function of trade effects. No, that'll be fine. Okay. Where? I can't see it. Oh! Oh, there it is. Oh, it's really dark. Yes, that's it. Okay. What if I do this then? Shader turned to high, shader turned to low, shader turned off. I think I'll leave that as it is. Right. Thanks to Patreon supporters. You're welcome, James. Well, I mean, I didn't support the Patreon, but mainly because I didn't know you had one. But I did buy your game because it looked good. So, good for you, James. You have... What? You have a lot of games, and I believe the ones I've seen look pretty good. Okay. I excused Adrienne during music class today, and I spoke with her about her recent string of demerits. Sorry. Right. It was our first time meeting outside of our quarterly evaluations, and I believe it went well. I certainly understand Mrs. Richardson's classroom observations concerning Adrienne's emotional state. She was, of course, intensely shy when we first met. As I understand it, she is similarly withdrawn in her classroom activities and only speaks or acts when she absolutely must. Some things she simply will not do. Instead of participating in mandatory group activities, she will sit alone and accept that she will receive a demerit. Before the meeting, I read Mrs. Richardson's parent-teacher report, which allowed me to estimate some about Adrienne's home life. Parents are well educated and come from a prestigious background, but they lack time to properly nurture Adrienne. She is often alone, and when she is not, the parents seem to not understand the importance of warmth and affirmation when dealing with someone so young. Yeah, it's usually because of parental issues. Having two parents of this reserved and icy temperament exacts an inhibition in a child. Child's imagination is subdued, but only ostensibly, for it eventually finds its way into regular life. I surmised that I would be able to reach out to Adrian by way of make-believe. Oh. Okay. How are you liking your new house? You've told me you used to live close by, but it can be a big adjustment. A new room, a new school. The basement. I like that. Normal and good. The basement. Yeah, well there's lots of cool stuff Mum and Dad sent me down there. Oh. Your Mum and Dad made you go? Yeah, there's lots of cool stuff. Well, that's not why they sent me down though. Why did they send you down there? Fighting. They were fighting, shouting. I came in to help and they shouted at me. So they said, go clean up downstairs. So I went. Yeah. Oops. Accidentally clicked off. That sounds tough. Do they fight a lot? No. Well, they, It's alright, Adrian. Maybe you can tell me more about the basement instead. Okay, well it was weird at first, the stuff down there. But cool. I found something living, sort of. Okay, that's good news, finding something living in a basement. That's fine. It's very interesting, Adrian. Please tell me more. By indulging in her fantasies and stories, I was able to glean more of an understanding of Adrian's anxiety surrounding her home and parents. Symbols of Adrian's story seem to carry their own traumatic weight, and her exploration of the basement may very well be a vehicle for the conveyance of her anxiety. Whatever might come of our next meeting, whether she will engage in similar make-believe, I will set down her story here. So yeah, it's going to be a sort of, oh, she's playing make-believe about the horrible, awful thing she discovered in the basement, and it's like, is it real? Is it not? Who knows? Adrian's story begins with her delving into the basement with a trash receptacle, with the goal of cleaning up. She discovered one of the walls was covered in plastic bags. She went to investigate, intent on tearing away whatever they covered. Ooh. Trash bags. Nope. Okay, I guess they're too big to pick up, maybe? Ah, there we go. Okay. Pick up little scraps and throw them in the bin. Upon removing the plastic trash bags from the wall, she noticed their interior lining was covered in glass. Like a window, I offered. No, she said, like a mirror. Oh. Reflecting inward towards the animal they covered. I gently asked her what exactly this animal was. Here is where the material reality of the story took a turn for the explicitly fantastic and imaginary. Oh yeah, imaginary. I'm sure everything is absolutely fine. Upon her discovery of it, at her gaze, it grew or extended, its shaggy-haired self. Hair like the fur of a dog, I offered. No, she said. Not the fur of a dog, nor the hair in her head. It grew out towards her, the animal's hair, reaching out. It was hard, standing almost straight, like the hair on a brush. A bristle, I offered. Yes, she said. She was very afraid at first, but then very curious. Like an urchin or something. I asked what else was in the room. More things hidden away, she said. Things of Grandpa's as well. First she found a hidden passage under the stairs. Inside were strange dolls, magic objects, naked faceless figures. I heard these cryptic utterances and merely nodded. In order to keep the game of make-believe going, I only pressed for details where I thought necessary. So she found, like, puppets maybe? Faceless dolls could be a simple metaphor for the anonymity she feels in her own home. Hidden passage. I am unsure of what to make of that. That's footsteps. The revealing of the concealed seems to be thematic in her fantasy. Door under the stairs is but one example. Hello? Ooh. Hi? Can I poke you? Poke? No? Okay. Question mark. Okay. Just give it a poke. Everything's fine, I'm sure of it. Okay. Darkness of the shadowy corner unnerves you. You cannot explore here without some light. Okay, so I guess I need to find a torch or something? Hello? Another trash pile. Okay. No. Alright. Question mark? Hello? Oh, here we go. Found some more trash. Once she removed the panel and found the magical hidden passage, she was very specific about what she took. She found a magic book, a magic doll, photo of her late grandpa, and magic glue. Oh yeah, excellent, excellent, that's fantastic. Search closet. Oh, trash. There's some notes. There's the glue. Okay. Oh, there's more trash. Okay. Can I not pick that up? Okay, I have to poke it. All-purpose glue. Mr. PhD, photo of your late grandfather. Mr. PhD, on the reverse side of the photograph there is more text. Good luck on your trip to the Urals. Stay warm. Okay, well that's Grandpa. Papers crudely bound together to form a book. Eurasian steppe shamanism and the fusiform gyrus? I have not seen that word before. An interdisciplinary study in sympathetic magic, a dissertation, Jacob Hart. Okay. The impetus of this research was the recognition of a particular pattern in fragments of documents relating to magic and magico-religious practices. Numerous sources were drawn from commentaries on laws relating to the banning of sorcery and necromancy, compilations of folk charms relating to love spells, hagiographs of saints and their encounters with devils. The list spans many centuries and a great distance, from the Levant to the Khazar Khaganate to the border of modern nations of Russia and Kazakhstan today. From this paper trail arose a consistent account about a certain form of magic relating to the binding of demons to a sorcerer's will. A demon called the Heaven of Needles, or the Angel of Needles, was known to be kept best by shamanic keepers or wards who suffer from face blindness, prosopagnosia, whether by birth or through developmental injuries like a stroke or a head injury. Needles, or maybe bristles, perhaps. It was known to be extremely effective, but terribly dangerous, so much so that it became outlawed several times and was generally a popular scapegoat relating to unexpected death. That's good, yep. A little bit of, Mr. Needlemouse, yes. Harinozumi. This nexus of magico-religious meaning-making, sorcery regarding human-related desires, and the history and science of neurological disorders. Sorry, my sinuses are really perking up over this. And the history and science of neurological disorders related to the fusiform gyrus, which is where the subject of this dissertation will reside. I will outline further and then analyze the historical sources I mentioned previously, and then I will go into the neurology of mystic and magico-religious experiences. Man, this is written like a proper essay. After that, I will detail my ongoing correspondence with a resident of the Ural Mountain region who is an expert folklorist and keeper of traditions he claims have been passed down through his extended family for generations. Yeah, that's fine. I'm sure absolutely nothing bad will come of this. Let's take the doll. Oh. It's just like a little rag doll. Interrupted to ask what she did with these magical, mysterious materials. Oh, I wonder. Grow, Grandpa, she explained plainly, and then without missing a beat, she continued on with her story. Okay, so she's creating an effigy of Grandpa, I suppose. Yeah, certainly seems like it. Grandpa got around, I mean, yeah. Feeling this was a potent symbol, I stopped her again to ask what she meant. Somewhat puzzled, I did not understand immediately, she explained slowly. But yeah, I mean, okay, growing Grandpa. I mean, yeah, obviously. Duh. Grandpa lives in a cage in the other room. The cage behind the door. They grew people in the cage. Of course. See, why explain anything further? That's completely self-explanatory. Can I pick up more of the trash pile? No? Okay. Door. A hastily written note. I have repeatedly called your homes to no avail, and so I am forced to leave this here for you all. I found William sitting in the corner of the enclosure area, seeming severely concussed. Whiskers was gone. Oh, I wonder who that could be. In none of its usual hiding places, I immediately suspected the worst. The project thus must be suspended for now. I am leaving up the usual mirrored coverings we just used to keep the anthropodic void sealed. I've done my best to lock up everything on such short notice. It is a hasty fix, but it will require some time to find a more permanent remedy. I'm honestly hoping you do not find this note, as I intend to lock the house down too. I intend to race off to you to retrieve your lockbox keys. Do not worry about William's key, and in the rest of his equipment is almost certainly deep within Whiskers now. I pray you do not enter this room. No matter how it may appear, William cannot be helped, and is only being kept alive as a means of continuing predation on the rest of us. Oh, well, I'm sure that's fine. I will say once again, no matter what state you may encounter William in, he cannot be helped. I have sympathy for the young man, I truly do, but I found on his person several photos of his late sister, which would imply certain risks he knew he was taking. Our extant research materials have now become possible liabilities, either criminal or professional in nature, so I have stashed them away. I believe I let you all know how I might do this if we were ever to experience an event such as this. I hope you all remember what I told you. So long then, Dr. H. I don't know. I mean, I don't know how old Adrienne is supposed to be, and how much of this she would understand. I'm not sure. But, yeah, these guys just apparently casually had a demon lurking in their basement. Hello. That's just apparently a normal thing. I mean, what family doesn't have a demon in their basement, let's be honest? Beyond the door, in the room, the cage was hidden, concealed in another cloak of inward-facing mirrors. I wonder if the mirrors are a way of making it perceive itself. Hidden cage lined with mirrors, it is a strange, almost poetic, the elaborate fantasy of self-reflection, concealment, captivity. Forcing it to perceive itself rather than perceiving others. Because, I mean, growing my grandpa, it basically has the idea of she's using this demon to make an effigy or a recreation of grandpa. So I'm wondering if it perceiving other people is what influences its form. And so by surrounding it in mirrors, it can only perceive itself, and therefore it can't develop into something else. That's my immediate thought about it anyway. Okay, tarp. Tarp. That's a nice word to say, tarp. Tarp. Can I pick it up? Nope. Trash. Nope. aren't any like settings I can use to change the brightness on it. At the cage, she finally cast her spell. But it was confusing, she confided, at first. She took the magic doll, the magic glue, and the photo of her grandpa, and she combined them, and she wished very hard. I can only assume, in this fantasy, that next her wish would come true. In what child's story would it not? Poke the glue. Ah yes, use the glue on a peculiar human representation, which is Grandpa. Yeah, when I heard cage, I was assuming like a bird cage or something like that, but no, that's like a holding cell. Generic human figure, the doll, glue together. Yay! Tangible symbol of intention and desire. There we go, an effigy of Grandpa. This is called Growing My Grandpa. She put Grandpa in the cage, assuming that was part of the ritual. She was not clear on how it worked, probably because she doesn't know. What precise instructions she could glean from her grandfather's magic book was complicated by her reading comprehension. It is a weird, disturbing, kind of scary game, yes. She wished with all her heart, and then she told me she waited a while for anything to happen, and after that time she began to cry. Aww. I mean, I can only imagine she really wants to see Grandpa again. I cried really hard, she said. I wanted Grandpa to be back. I wanted my parents to stop being so mean. Maybe Grandpa was the only one who actually took care of her. And it hurt me. It heard me wish for Grandpa to come back, for my parents to be different. I could feel it through the walls, and it felt me through the air. I asked her what exactly she meant. She could only repeat what she said. By this time, lunch was almost over. I said goodbye to Adrienne, and she left to rejoin her class. I was left to consider our conversation. I believe the storytelling strategy I've employed was not unfruitful, but I must probe deeper if I can. Although I can be sure of nothing, I interpret the impressions I get may begin to help me get an idea of the right questions to ask. Knowledge you acquired this week has given you access to certain topics or keywords you can discuss with Grandpa. You have gained the conversation topic wish. Consider discussing this when Grandpa emerges. Emerges, I like that. Kirby Adventure, that's Nightmare, I think. So yeah, you just kind of have to swing the star wand at him before you crash into the ground. It's very much just a matter of dodge and swing. Learn his movements, learn his patterns, things like that. Following keyword, shell. Consider discussing this when Grandpa emerges. Oh, so like growing out of your shell, I assume? Week 2. Just have a drink, drink? I don't have work tomorrow, so I'm enjoying a cherry ice vodka mix. It's very nice. It's got a little bit of like sourness to it as well, like a little tang. I met again with Adrienne in order to address her emotional outbursts in the past few weeks. It is our second time meeting, and while it is standard practice to have multiple sessions with a troubled student, as I assemble a report for the counselling department, I could not help but think, as we sat down in my office, that Adrienne already seemed to show a remarkable change in self-esteem and confidence, and perhaps my and Mrs. Richardson's estimation of her as emotionally disturbed was erroneous. I don't know about that. I mean, if she's not emotionally disturbed, she's probably going to be quite physically disturbed. Paralysing shyness and withdrawn attitude Adrienne possessed last week was not entirely diminished. but she seemed to hold herself differently this week. However, this only lasted as long as our conversation pertained to initial introductory pleasantries. When I began once again asking about her parents, her feelings regarding her new school and her new home, she quickly lost what new confidence she had gathered up and withdrew again into herself. So yeah, she really doesn't want to talk about her parents. Her parents, her home and school have not created a good environment for her. So once again, I partook in some collaborative make-believe, but this time I was aided by the fact that I had managed to do some research into Adrian's grandfather, and I had some insight into what she might actually be finding in the basement. Now this may be overstepping my bounds some as a school counselling caseworker, yeah, probably a little, but this was all in service of making Adrian comfortable and happy in this learning environment. I mean, good intentions and all, but in any case, I was able to dig up information regarding grandfather by inquiring at the university in town. Not that I make it a habit of sleuthing, but I had a suspicion the grandfather was a professor there, or at least some sort of researcher, due to the fact that the newly constructed laboratory on the campus I drive by every day bears his name in memorial. Ah, so yeah, he must have been pretty influential then to have a laboratory named after him. Yeah, a good place to start then, I suppose. He was some sort of anthropologist or linguist or neuroscientist. Oh, it's headpat. Or neuroscientist. I did not have to dig that deep before the scope of this work became dizzying, and I ran up against the limits of my undergraduate education. But back to the make-believe. Okay, anthropologist, linguist, or neuroscientist. I mean, they're kind of pretty closely related. So yeah, it could be any one of those. Could be all of those. Could be something similar to those. What is your grandpa like? Is he a smart man? Not anymore, but I'm teaching him. So he's grown a good deal then. You've been feeding him well? Yeah, he is getting bigger, but he has a lot of room in his cage. He's still behind the bars? Yeah, well, he might be able to climb out eventually. There's this vent in the ceiling. Well, perhaps if he climbs out, I could meet him someday. Oop, sorry, accidentally clicked outside the window again. Yeah, maybe. But he's not ready to leave. He can't take care of himself. I have to feed him, pick up after him. There we go, that's got it. You store your food in the lunchbox? That's nice of you to share. He can almost talk. That's nice. You cannot speak with him? He doesn't have a mouth, sort of. But how do you feed him? He has a mouth on the outside, on his shell, or the stuff that is his skin. What? I'm a little confused. Maybe you can go through a typical day with your grandpa. Grandpa picnic, yay. Okay. Ask her to explain exactly how she goes about growing her grandpa, and Adrian began another tale. According to Adrian, in the week that had passed, much had changed in the basement. Oop, down we go. Alright, let's have a look around. Oh, well, he's not there anymore. The hairy thing that was here before is gone. Yep, I did notice that. Oh, there's a little lunchbox. Lunchbox currently empty. Okay. You should go see Grandpa first. Okay. Oh! A note on experiment 1 out of 4. No, I want to read it. Okay. Concerning this detail later at the study corner. Okay, I'll do it at the study corner. Where is the study corner? I'm assuming that's back there somewhere. Oh well, never mind. Ooh, hello. Wake, Grandpa. Oh, it's gone really quiet. Scary at first, she said, the way he moved, the way the doll's skin covered him. I wanted to interject, but somehow it seemed inappropriate, but I kept listening. When I look at him, she continued, when I think about him, he grows and moves. It's like he is growing for me. Oh, so he's growing bigger now? I asked. Yes, she said, bigger every day. Oh, hey, Grandpa! This begins the actual growing part of growing your grandpa. Beneath the doll's burlap skin, the follicles knit together what resembles a proper person, your grandpa. You are in charge of its cognitive development and diet until it is able to sustain yourself. That is a lot of responsibility for a child. Currently you are observing Grandpa. Please click the arrow back button below for a brief tutorial on your duties as a caretaker. Hi Grandpa, how you doing? You're quite long. Right, ooh. Here we can see a variety of options regarding growing your grandpa. Yeah, I know. Getting to raise yourself. Yeah, okay. Here we can see a variety of options regarding growing your grandpa. Highlighted in red are objectives related to feeding and teaching grandpa. Important messages regarding grandpa's recent activity will also appear here. You will need to find food and learning material before you can move on to the next week. Okay, some foods will make Grandpa happy, others merely content. Some food will make Grandpa disgusted to the point of nausea. Learning material is also scattered throughout the basement. Seek out vocabulary cards intended to help teach English and basic anthropoidic concept confirmation. Confirmation? Information? For some reason that word didn't register in my head. Ooh! The options highlighted in red are related to navigating around Grandpa's enclosure. Go to Grandpa option will let you perform all actions directly related to Grandpa. Yep. Accessing the study corner will let you go over any documents you pick up as the weeks go by. It's a good idea to learn about the work of the people who last occupied this space. So is this just like within this? Is this the same house where the experiments took place? It's just parents never went in the basement to find out? Accessing the kitchen corner will let you search for food in the old refrigerator and prepare food for Grandpa if need be. Help button will play a tutorial. Yep, save and exit. Okay. So more buttons may appear or may not appear depending on your development of Grandpa, so watch out for them. Okay. One final note, take care to explore the basement at your leisure. However, due to the entropic nature of clutter and trash, different weeks may allow you to find different things you had not previously discovered. Okay. Good luck. Oh, thank you. Let's go to the study corner and read those cards. Here we are. For the sake of university policy and the health of any future career you hope to have, you will abide by the non-disclosure contract you have signed. Do not break the anthropoidic vacuum without my prior consultation of approval. Any anthropoidic forms brought into the enclosure area must not be left unattended. When not in dormancy, the sample will attempt to take anthropoid shells. Please see shell notes for more on that. Okay. Anthropoidic vacuum must be depriving whatever it is of interaction with humans and human concepts. Because a vacuum is an absence of something. Like, as a term, vacuum is an absence of air. But an anthropoidic vacuum, anthropoidic being relating to humanity and culture and things like that. So it must be an absence of all human interaction, I think. Okay. Orientation note number 2. Sample's exposure to some of our neuronal activity is unavoidable. However, the speed at which its desirous yield is produced can be dampened by several precautions regarding libidinal and emotional urges. Keep conversation not related to lab work a minimum. Okay. Exposure to neuronal activity. It's psychic. It can read minds. Desirous yield. Libidinal and emotional urges. It must respond to desires. Wishes. Like Adrian's wish to bring Grandpa back. It's responding to that. It is responding to whether on a conscious or subconscious level, it responds to what we want in desire. Well, what a human wants and desires. Okay, which is why they have to keep it isolated from humans. Right. If you begin to suspect you are developing attachments to your colleagues, contact me as soon as possible. I'm not sure. I'm not sure the relation of that. Whether it influences your own emotions and desires. Okay, note 3. Whoops. Ritual behavior with the sample trading bargaining will result in dismissal from the project. Yeah. That is true. Yeah. I would have assumed, personally I would assume that her confidence is in response to being happy, basically. She's excited to see Grandpa again, which has a positive effect on her mood, which makes her a little more open and expressive towards others. But, yes, now that you've brought that up, it could well be this thing making her more receptive to others. Maybe it's kind of like a... what's the word? Like toxoplasmosis, maybe? Maybe it's a form of that. I don't know. The precise mechanism of the exchange of symbols and gifts required for a requested desirous yield is not yet known, and even then, anecdotal accounts of success are illegible. End in violent death. Oh, well, that doesn't sound good. So, trading and bargaining. Precise mechanism of desirous yields and gifts. I suppose feeding it? I don't know. Okay, final note. Read more. Regarding growth cycles, every time Whiskers regenerates and leaves... Oh, toxoplasmosis. It's a bit difficult to describe. The way I'd make is it's kind of like... I think it's a parasite rather than a virus, but it makes you more friendly and receptive to others as a method of spreading itself. I think. Regarding growth cycles, every time Whiskers regenerates and leaves dormancy is to be logged as a new propagation. Yeah, parasiting cat poop, that's it. The sample's bodily existence cannot be illegible, i.e. a part cannot be cut from the whole, so there can only be one living propagation. Propagations are to be terminated after 5 weeks. Okay. So... So I suppose it naturally sheds a part of itself, the old one dies and the new one grows into a new instance, I guess, I think. And they're saying not to do it, not to create one yourself. Don't create one itself, because that means there's going to be more than one. There can only be one. Right. Any further development puts us at risk. Termination procedures will be posted and followed with extreme care. With all of that out of the way, I want to welcome you to the project. I look forward to working with you. Dr. Hart. I wonder if Dr. Hart was her grandpa then. Anyway, right. That's all the information caught up on. Examine educational posters. Oh. Family togetherness. Learning... something. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Oh, I can pick them up. Oh, they're trash. Oh, okay. Aha! This is the real meat of it. Set of procedures regarding disposal and internment. Ah, okay, so getting rid of propagations, I suppose. Researcher will seal off the enclosure bars, ensuring minimal gas leakage during the later fumigating progress, and then retrieve the burn barrel and replace it near the enclosure. Okay, incineration, I guess. Allow at least 48 hours of time where the current growth cycle experiences no human-related stimuli. Do not enter the enclosure area nor any part of the basement. Ideally, you will not be on the grounds at all. After 48 hours, two researchers will enter the basement wearing their assigned mirror mask, mirror apron, and powered air purifying respirator. Yeah, it's mirrors again. It's making it so that they can't be perceived. The researcher will use the vent system to fumigate the enclosure area, wait 30 minutes, and then use the fan system to ventilate the enclosure. Keep the fans running during step 3 and 4. Re-enter the enclosure wearing your assigned mirror mask and aprons. The organism may or may not be in complete dormancy. If it is not in full dormancy, be assured that its capacity to act against you will be greatly diminished. With your assigned powered drills, quickly remove any enclosure bars needed to access the organism. Put them aside for later reinstallation. Oh man. Put the organism into the burn barrel. Incinerate the organism thoroughly. Wait for any smoke to be properly cleared by the fan system. Turn off the fans. Once researcher will retrieve the nucleus from the ash and place it in the mirror box. The other researcher will sift through the ash, place any other substantial remains in the biohazard bin in the room outside the enclosure area. The bin is locked for safety purposes. The code is 323245. I'm noting that down just in case. 323245. Researchers will fill out a termination form and leave it to Dr. Hart. Oh, biohazard bin. What a lovely thing to talk about. Okay, so that was the process they go through to dispose of it. It said there's a nucleus left over, so I'm assuming the nucleus is the actual core of this demon thing, and the propagations grow from outside of that. Yeah. Okay, so basically, the game started. We're playing this child, Adrienne. Her parents neglect her, and they told her to go clean up the basement. In the basement, she found this quote-unquote magic book, a cloth doll, and a picture of her grandpa. This magic book apparently told her how to bring her grandpa back. And so that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to bring back Grandpa. We're growing a new Grandpa. Oh, my knee. Alright, search file cabinet 1. Oh, more trash. Trash, trash, trash. 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 Throw it in the bin, please. Oh. Stuff. All clean. The space will not be dirty again until next week. Ah, it's fine. It's, yeah, my knee just aches every so often. It's not like it hurts, it's just... You know the feeling you get when you just get like the very dull, tired sort of like pressure. I'm in the John Ward knee injury gang. I just have to give it a little bit of a stretch. I'm going to rest it on my drawer over here. There we go. That's perfect. Right. What have we got? Got some cashews, looks edible. Grandpa might like this. Yep, I know SpongeBob. That's not interesting. It looks like coins. I guess I won't need them. And a note. An account of an acquisition. It was said to pass from one family of step people to another, but pressed on its ultimate origin, illegible, somewhere up to the south, coiled in a bowl covered in incantations, buried upside down by a graveyard, a common late antiquity demon trap. Okay. So I guess it gets passed around from family to family, but it was originally found in a demon trap, which is probably not a good idea. You probably don't want to trap a demon. The keeper, an elderly man in failing health, was ready to expound on and on about the dangers of the organism, but when I asked more pointed questions about the history of its acquisition, I was given curt responses that had a way of circling back to vague warnings. Well, I mean, you probably shouldn't have poked at it. You know, warnings exist for a reason. Pop. Right, cabinet 2. More cleaning. Trash. I'm starting to get hungry now. I'm going to probably put my sausages in a second. Oh, we've got some notes. Alright, only one thing this time. Yeah, just... Oh, how convenient. Linguistics module, Grandpa. Teach Grandpa this word to read the notes of past educators. Okay. Search file cabinet 3. I'll probably finish this list of things to do and then go put on the sausages. Okay, bye-bye. Nothing in this one? Oh, I guess not. Oh, you remove the tape down fabric to reveal the cabinet's wooden bottom. Aha! A false bottom panel. Fantastic. What have we got here? Note regarding cleanup procedures. Oh, I've been doing that. Yay, Halloween candy! To my colleagues, I don't mean to be overly severe in tone, but Dr. Hart's work is very important, and the material we are working with is potentially very dangerous. I will be handing out a copy of this note as a reminder to everyone. I am not trying to single any particular person out. We all have misconceptions about the nature of this project from time to time. With that out of the way, here are some things to keep in mind. The active growth must be thoroughly terminated via the correct procedures at the very least 4 weeks after dormancy is interrupted. Okay, so they purposely wake this thing up out of dormancy? I suppose they experiment on it for, 5 weeks? And then terminate it? And then grow it again afterwards? I'm assuming. Doesn't matter what you've done or haven't done regarding tests or procedures or how much the anthropodic vacuum has been disrupted, we are not ready to go beyond 4 weeks at this point. Step-by-step guide to termination has been posted on the enclosure wall. Please, please, please do not paste the educational posters over this posting. That is exactly what happened. Do not disrupt the anthropodic vacuum without Dr. Hart's prior consultation and approval. Okay? In case of any emergency where the vacuum is disrupted, put on your equipment and begin the lockdown procedure. Make an extensive note of when and how the breach occurred. If you find the habitat empty, page Dr. Hart immediately, but do not attempt to speak with anyone else. This thing can get very smart. I'm sure you're all well aware of the stories we heard on our acquisition trip. The greatest caution should be used when dealing with a potential aggressive mimicry scenario. Please seek me out if you have any more questions. Okay, so yeah. This thing can assume the guise of others then, by that description. I'm going to assume that after 5 weeks at the maximum, they said it was in the other note, I'm going to assume that after 5 weeks it develops into a fully tangible form, and then they can't control it anymore, they can't destroy it. Or at least it takes a lot of effort to do so. Okay. Let's look at this one. Notation regarding sample exoskeletons. The shell, I guess. Research participants, please take note. Each growth from a cycle does not require a shell, but you may find the sample will often try and seize on something somewhat flexible it can grow into, along with any desirous yield that it may generate, or else it will move from one shell to the next as it outgrows them. Like a hermit crab. So yeah, that's what we've given it. We've given it a shell and a desirous yield, the picture of Grandpa. So yeah, basically we've provided it with everything it needs. In the small amount of time I have spent with it in preparation, I have noticed it tends towards human forms. However, we should keep a tight lid on the anthropoidic seal in order to be cautious before we begin to experiment with exposing it to long-term anthropoid stimuli. Okay. Sounds fair. Right, I'll do this one and then I'll go start cooking. DA's notes or DA's notes? Das notes? Why am I not? Oh. Hello. Right, I don't think I have anything to do with this yet. Okay. Medical imaging device. Yeah, I know, I don't have any medical images. Right then. I'll go to the kitchen corner, but before I do that, I'm going to prepare my own food. So, heading to the BRB room. I'll be back in a few minutes. I'm just going to go cook some sausages. So, see you in a little bit. I'm back. Right, I will disappear again in another half an hour, roughly. But, oh god, I've got hiccups now. Oh no, terrible timing. But for now, we're going to look for food for Grandpa. Oh, we can't. Unappealing item. Oh. Lettuce. Looks edible. Okay. Oh dear. I have doomed myself with hiccups. Lower fridge. Oh, a banana. A brown banana. Oh, that's the best kind of banana. Lovely. Right. Right. Go to Grandpa. Observe. How's he doing? You examine Grandpa, noting its movements, respiration, and general mood. Grandpa seems sort of sluggish and bored. You get the feeling it may be more content and readily cooperative once fed and taught a word or two. Okay. Okay, Grandpa. Sure. Brief tutorial over the basics. Yeah, Grandpa simulated the production of tooth enamel to mimic a human mouth. Okay, you will need to select an item from your lunchbox. Contents of the lunchbox will be displayed. Nice food, bad food. Select an item from the lunchbox. Doing so will fill your hand with the item. Note that any food can be put back into the lunchbox. Before Grandpa can be fed, it must judge the food by smell. Hover your hand above Grandpa's olfactory bulbs. If Grandpa is pleased, it will allow you to feed it. Most foods Grandpa will accept. However, getting Grandpa to consume other things requires some culinary deception. Grandpa is willing to be fed. Hover your hand over its mouth and click. Grandpa will then consume the food. Good luck on feeding Grandpa. Okay. You approach a small window set in the jail bars. Oh. Hi, Grandpa. Are those your teeth? They're lovely teeth. Right, do you like cashews? Left of the mouth. Oh. Seems indifferent, but we'll accept it. Okay, there you go. Meal appears to have been sufficient. You want to eat two things, don't you? So how about some lettuce? Okay. There you go. Meal appears to have been sufficient. Okay, is that enough? Step away from the window. Grandpa grunts appreciation and locomotes towards its favourite corner. We can feed him indigestible foods? Huh. Right, teach Grandpa. Let's teach Grandpa some words. Oh, there must be more words we can find then. If we've only got one. Tutorial. Brief example, we'll go over teaching Grandpa pronunciation and vocalization. The vocabulary word you picked will appear in the top left corner. In the bottom right corner will be a pentagon that is divided up into 8 sections. A section of the pentagon will be highlighted briefly, notification sound will play, and soon another section will be highlighted. You will control a small round icon that sits above the pentagon by using your mouse. The ball is constrained to the limits of the pentagon. The goal is to keep your icon over the highlighted area and move it as the area changes sections around the pentagon. When you hold left click above the correct highlighted area, the icon will start to vibrate, along with the simulated vocal cords, and the current letter of your word will begin to turn red. Okay? Keep holding over the highlighted section and adjust your icon as it changes place. Soon the letter will become fully red. After every letter becomes red, Grandpa will proudly pronounce the word to you and it will be considered learned. Teaching Grandpa these words will accelerate its cognitive development and lead to further breakthroughs in general intelligence. Okay. No, I just did that. Yes. Okay, Grandpa, let's learn how to say your name. Oh. Look at it uvulate. Okay. It changes every few seconds by the looks of it. Oh, this is weird. That's it, Grandpa, you're getting it. You're nearly there, Grandpa. Oh, this is difficult, man. Oh, strange membranes, phonic. Ah, well done, Grandpa, you did it. Having completed the lesson, you take a look back at the vocabulary module card and the notes. They're written by administrators of the past. Grandpa, part of vocabulary vocalization module, blah blah blah. General pronunciation comments, usual trouble with articulation, voice thin, raspy, possibly underdeveloped larynx. We've done several sessions of what we are calling familiar relations simulation. I and a co-researcher sit in chairs opposite the enclosure. We are wearing the usual masks, and we begin to act out a scene, mostly through improvisation, that might roughly resemble a kitchen table conversation between an immediate family. Repeated trials would reveal, although our simulated conversation was purposely vague and unspecific regarding persons and identities, we would only address each other as brother, father, sister, etc. It soon became apparent the encoded information and associations we were unconsciously drawn upon when hearing and speaking these words was being picked up on by Whiskers and its psi-type field of reception, interpretation of brain-mind events and semantic content. My co-researcher William noticed this in a simulation where Whiskers was given a role as a sister and he as a brother. I was the father. Whiskers began responding to certain prompts with unusual specificity as well as general pattern and timbre of speech that continued with unusual consistency. As soon as the simulation ended and we left the enclosure area, William let me know that Whiskers was almost certainly drawing from encoded memories of his late sister, mapping out exactly what regions and centres of neural activity are intercepted by the psi-type field would take extensive neuroimaging that we do not have at this site. Currently we only have less precise portable equipment. However, our experiences so far are eerily in line with folk knowledge and folk explanations regarding the being's access to desires, and we can begin to infer that it has access to certain portions of the limbic system and the ventral temporal cortex. So yeah, Whiskers wants to be part of the family, but it also seems to fulfill parts of the family that are missing, that other people want it to fill, which is interesting. Right, so there has to be more we can find. Has to be more vocabulary notes. Because we're supposed to teach them two. That's all clean. This is all clean. This is all clean. Is there nothing I can find here? Can I leave it on? No, it automatically turns off. Oh, excuse me. Right. Explore the basement? Oh yeah, of course. Alright. Cabinet. Examine. Slouching under the weight of rotten refuse. Lovely. Ah, here we go. I can explore the rest of the basement. That was just Grandpa's room. Okay. The lab, I should say. Ooh, what's this? Blueberries! Ah, maybe Grandpa would have liked that instead. Oh, well, never mind. Top drawer. Ooh. Looks like there's a bunch of doll faces in here. Account of acquisition again. Before we began, he had us all cover our faces completely. An earthenware pot was illegible, and on the inside, as we stole brief glances at it, we could see the interior was inlaid with mirrors. The illegible gave it small pieces of dough, spoiled food, chicken feed, keeping it content. Keeper gestured towards the small bag where the food composted and told us to be careful not to feed it any meat. I asked if the rotting food was enough to sustain it, how it might get nutrients from any of this. Did it not just mention chicken? The keeper regarded me seriously and said it did not matter what it was fed, the act of feeding itself was what mattered. The act of feeding flesh is another act, however, and then gave me another series of grave warnings regarding not keeping any animal-derived foods near where I might be keeping it. Okay. Well, that sounds important. Bottom drawer. Oh, chicken feed! Right, yes. It was just like the word chicken jumped out in my head and not the feed afterwards, yeah. Okay, nothing here. Right, let's have another look at the trash pile. Examine. Something about that painting looks strange. Okay, let's have a look at it then. Just looks like flowers to me. Oh. A false panel. Folder full of radiographic images. There we go. That's what's got to go on the medical thing. Search trash pile. Clean. Pick it up, please. Oh, I guess that's an item. And not trash. It looks like trash. Right, what's this then? Fiberglass insulation. This isn't really food. Grandpa might eat it, however. I don't know about that. I don't know if I want to... It said it doesn't matter what you feed it, the act of feeding is what matters. Okay. I mean, it looks like candy floss. Or cotton candy, as you may know it. Waste here smells particularly strong. Oh, is there something... Ooh! What's that? A paper doll. Might be useful in the construction of magic symbols. Okay, so like another effigy, another little poppet type thing. That's going to be the only thing that's in here, isn't it? And it was right there. Yeah, that was it. Oh well, at least I found it. Bulbous growth. Oh yeah, man, I love me some bulbous growths. Trash. Something appears to be growing from the wall. You take a closer look. A pulsating sac, the slimy membrane that its skin seems to contain something. Might be able to be opened with a blade. Sure. Hello. Ah, there we go. We're going to teach Grandpa to say hello. Ooh, looks like there's another thing over there. Trash, 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 trash. Trash, trash, trash. More trash? I don't see any more trash. Okay. Corroded battery. Isn't really food. Grandpa might eat it, however. Oh! Oh, what was that note earlier? Where it said whatever's left of his equipment is deep inside of Grandpa. Do you think we have to make Grandpa throw up? Why is it not said that it's clean? Oh, there it is. Really dark one lurking in the background there. Darkness of the shadowy corner unnerves you. You cannot explore here without some form of light. Okay. Right. Well, let's go teach Grandpa his word. Let's teach him to say hello. Oh, actually, let's go to the study corner first and look at these. Propagation 21, after day 19 after dormancy. Back from broken, yes, term at 21 days. Okay, so this one has had interaction with humans. Notes in detail. Intriguing results with regard to the mimic hypothesis. Participant entered a sealed chamber adjacent to Whiskers, which had been freed from the anthropoidic vacuum constructed quite economically from plastic and broken mirrors. The first propagation's original earthenware vacuum was shattered during the move-in. Okay, so the anthropoidic vacuum is the name for the mirror construction, I guess. That makes sense. Between the two, there was a semi-opaque glass panel that allowed observation both ways. Human participant was asked to think of someone in the popular consciousness, fictional or no, and conjugate on the image, personality, face, if possible, voice, if possible. Our participant chose Jesus of Nazareth. Of all figures, sure, think of Christ. And with weekly repeated exposures to the participants' imaginings, Propagation 21 began forming what resembled an anthropoid Nazarene in the fold of its spines. Huh. Okay. It's growing its own Jesus. Oh, grow your own Jesus. Has anyone tried doing that? You know, like you get the grow your own dinosaurs. Have you got grow your own Jesus? I bet someone's done that. Yeah, anyway, previous human-oriented tests have always bore out a result that Whiskers would form an anthropoid team member, be it me or Dr. Hart or Gerald, and we assumed it was merely mimicking one of us. Dr. Hart has always contended that the desirous yield, or the anthropoid reproduction Whiskers creates when in contact with human beings, has always been based on the conception and relation to the person through someone else. Yeah, no, I'd be surprised if someone hasn't created it as like a little parody kind of thing. This framework, the desirous yield is not actually a replica of a person, or if it is only a replica of the fiction of a person generated in the mind of another. Right, so they're not actually mimicking people, they are mimicking a person's perception of someone else. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. The desirous yield was not Jesus Christ, but the participants' image of Jesus assembled from their religious upbringing, religious artwork, depictions in popular culture, etc. This radiograph was taken right before the destruction of the growth cycle, while Whiskers was rendered unconscious via fumigation. It seems like with every successive propagation in the stem cells in the organism work a little faster. But I'm not paranoid. It's technically deathless, yes, but we're burning up whatever knowledge it's gained when we incinerate it. I don't believe in magic just yet. So you're trying to say that it doesn't retain any of the information it learns with each iteration. It's just perfecting the ability through which it learns the information each time, is what you're saying. Whether that's true or not, we don't know, but that's their hypothesis. His hypothesis. There. Yeah. Okay. So that's it growing the Jesus out of the back of its head, I guess? Propagation 2. Day 0 after dormancy. For broken, yes. 6 days. Okay. So this is just its spines. In its infancy, I guess. We have taken calling it Whiskers, though of course some have interpreted it as hair or whiskers or quills, but Whiskers is more accurate as the needles are really more like suprasensory follicles or spines. Yeah, like whiskers. The nerve nets distributed through the morphology of these spines resemble those of the genus Hydra. What is the genus Hydra now? Oh, I can't think of that off the top of my head. But have myelin sheaths that are functionally the same as vertebrae. We can see in the X-ray each spine is laden with dense optical arrangements similar to compound eyes. So each spine is an eye? Wow. Or at least a series of eyes. The Hydra connection is assuredly worth investigating with regard to the... no, jellyfish are Cnidae? Cnidarians, I think, beginning with C. C-N-I-D. I'm pretty sure it's for jellyfish. But I'm not sure about Hydra. I think it might be some kind of worm. Or maybe a fluke, I don't know. The Hydra connection is certainly worth investigating with regard to the organism's capacity for regeneration and anecdotal deathlessness. Okay, oh no, it might be a type of jellyfish then. Might be a specific branch of the jellyfish family. It certainly is a robust enough creature to inspire marvel that is not untinged with fear. Right. Hang on. Message there. Right, propagation 14. Day 14 after dormancy. Okay, so this is without human interference. So let's take a look. Exposure to mammalian forms, part of a series of zoomorphic influences, led to further understanding of the propagation's ability to simulate the somatic stem cells that constitute fully developed animals. I write simulate in the previous statement because examining the tissue of each propagation leads me to believe its amazing capacity for accelerated growth of vastly different forms comes from its cell-level mutability. And yet at no time does it function as the thing it becomes, except in the sense that it mimics it. That is to say, when Whiskers is removed from a dormancy and replicates a rabbit's morphology, it is not seeing from the rabbit's eyes, nor smelling from the rabbit's nose, but pretending that it does and doing a very good job of it. Okay, so... right, okay, yeah, so the same higher order, so a jellyfish belongs to Hydra rather than the other way around. Got it, okay. Jellyfish can very much restart their life cycle pretty much. They can regress to earlier phases of life. Some, not, I don't think all jellyfish can, but certainly a lot of them. It's kind of like the thing that the species is known for. So yeah. Yeah, I was thinking too low on the ladder. The morphological ladder, yeah. Right. So, it doesn't develop organs, it doesn't actually develop eyes, it doesn't actually develop any of the inner workings of what it mimics. It just looks like it does. Okay. So that's a rabbit. Or at least an approximation. See, there's no internal workings there, it's just rabbit-shaped. Oh. This is just a big old clump. Right. No. Head empty, no thoughts. Day 10 after dormancy. Vacuum not broken, so again, no human interference. Radiograph was taken at or around growth cycle 4. Strange thing about it was that the subject of the image was found nowhere near the enclosure. It's almost like a piece of Whiskers fell off and scurried into the corner. Ah, so is that it propagating by itself? I feel like we've learned a lot since then, but at the time I remember speaking about morphology being weird, not really even resembling any extant zoomorphic structure, besides maybe a cuttlefish. Then I happened to open the thing up. Inside were all these little dead amoeba-like things, but they all sort of looked like they had faces. Oh. Faces that were just barely there. After I took the radiograph, I gathered it up and went to go through the biohazard bin. As I walked by the bars of the enclosure, I could hear Whiskers suddenly going wild, flopping around and grunting excitedly. Could it have smelled the cuttlefish thing? Would it eat its own production? I guess it's technically flesh. This is beyond the scope of the project, but it could be that without the stimulus of an active brain... There we go! See? No brain. Or more specifically, a healthy and active brain capable of face recognition and theory of mind, Whiskers begins to pull whatever it can from the limited data available to it. Again, this is not our focus at the time, but I left a note for Dr. Hart just in case he wanted to take a look. Right. I'm not entirely sure what that entails, but it's interesting, certainly. So, without having an outside stimulus to create something from, it tries to create its own thing, and creating like a feedback loop, maybe? Oh, and then we're back to the beginning. Okay. Well, let's go teach Grandpa his second word for the day. Let's go say hello. Hi, Grandpa. You want to say hello? Oh, come on, click, click. That's it, click. I like I mean, I don't like the image of the uvulation going on in the background of the pentagram here. It's all very glottal. Oop. Oop, there we go. Not quite, but you did a real good job. Right. Hello, part of vocabulary, blah blah blah. Sloppy articulation. Yeah, that wasn't as good as Grandpa. Oh, excuse me. Speaking of glottal. 1 second. Ugh. Oh, I don't know why my sinuses feel so dry today. Right, we are already encountering some of the difficulty as Whisker's subjectivity is so much determined by a diverse and dynamic array of influences. It attempts to mimic the thoughts and desires it passively intercepts, and these imitations go on to structure the basis of its identity. Only later in Whisker's growth cycle does it begin to form an identity, or identities that are coherent and capable of resembling a sane, rational human being when engaged in conversation. One must imagine how hard it would be to converse with someone who is not yet oriented in one particular way towards who or how they are, because they might have 20 different honest answers to those questions, all of them mixed and muddled together. That's a good point, actually. It's trying to I say trying to, it's probably not doing it on purpose, it's probably just part of its nature, but passively absorbing the perceptions of so many people around it. Because of this, we have started with the basics of conversation, greetings, partings, identifying one another, forming questions, etc., etc. It's fortunate Whisker's current growth, 19 I believe, has developed a mostly accurate human mouth simulation. Hello was a bit of a challenge in the previous growth, as it had failed to develop an adequate organ to act as a human tongue. Oh dear. Oh, Grandpa. What a card. Good old Grandpa. Okay, so we're ready to move on to next week. See you next week, Grandpa. Weekly summary. Yep, lots of documents. Knowledge you acquired this week has given you access to a new conversation topic to discuss with Grandpa. Language. Okay, I'm sure he'll be all up for discussing that. Week 3. Alright, back to school. Mrs. Richards approached me the other day in order to remark on Adrian's development. She noted how much more at ease she appeared when called upon in class, or when asked to participate in group exercises. I told her I had seen this change happening as well. It's clicked. It's clicked. The reason you have to be alert in developing more associations with your co-workers is because it builds itself off of your perception of other people. The more people you know and familiarise yourself with, the more wealth of knowledge that Grandpa has to draw from. That's it. That has to be the reason behind it. So she's going out and making more friends in class, so she has more perceptions of other people for Whiskers to build its worldview and its self-image on. Ah, that's good. That's good. Okay, I got it. Right. I told her I had seen this change happening as well, and that as much as... Oh, my timer. Right. I'll just finish reading this page. I told her I had seen this change happening as well, and that as much as I would like to take credit for it, I can only guess dimly at what might be reshaping her attitude. Oh, well, that's Whiskers, that is. Anyway, I'm going to take another BRB to go and prepare my hot dogs, pop them on the buns and such, so I'll be back in maybe about 5 minutes again. See you in a moment. And we are back, and once again Seribot right on cue to tell me to go take a break just as I come back from a break. I was slightly wrong about my sausages. We bought them thinking that they were caramelized onion. In fact, they are beer braised onion and cheddar flavoured sausages, so I'm in for a little bit of an extra treat tonight. But yes, I have my hot dogs. I'm going to be enjoying those as we play. I have almost finished my bottle of cherry vodka. Not straight vodka. That would be a bit much even for me. Yeah, we like to have beer brats. They're not quite bratwurst. They're just kind of like sausage links. But yeah, no, I tasted some of the grease, I guess, as I was, you know, picking them up, putting them in the bun, and sort of like lick my fingers, and it does taste really good. So it's going to be good once I finally bite into them. I'm just going to let them cool down for a little bit because they're fresh out of the air fryer. But yeah, Saturday nights are usually our quote-unquote takeout night. So we usually make either hot dogs or burgers or pizza or something like that. So yeah, let's go back and see how Adrian is doing. Right. Mrs. Richards posited that it was perhaps Adrian's family moving into their grandfather's property. Oh, that's the new house they moved into. The new house they moved into is Grandpa's old house. That's why everything is in the basement. Okay. That's what caused the change. Apparently, it is out in the country, in a wooded area, full of wide open space and far from the bustle and noise in the city. Yes, it would have to be in order to keep Whiskers isolated from other people. That makes sense. Everything is adding up. The grandfather, Dr. Jacob Hart, I knew he was Dr. Hart, yep, had jointly purchased the land with the university he was employed with and began constructing what he was intending to be a satellite campus for a burgeoning psychological anthropology program he had a hand in establishing. Oh gee, I wonder what the nature of his research was. Only one building ever ended up being constructed after Dr. Hart died in a car accident when driving back from the property one day. Ah, eerily, at almost the exact same time, a grad student who was assisting Dr. Hart on some sort of project at the property vanished without a trace. I'm not... Okay, that's gotta be something, because it's very eerie, but, I don't know what yet. Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying, I don't... Because the thing is, how long would Whiskers have been down there? It was covered in shards of mirror, so it wasn't fully, sealed like it should have been. So I don't know. Has it been growing? Has it been developing? For how long has it been down there? Is it past the 5 weeks maximum that should have been for instances? I don't know. The property... Oh, for years. Okay, so I guess it was abandoned for... So I guess it might have been dormant for that long. Like, what ends the dormancy? Does it wake up by itself, or does something have to wake it up? Does it have to be removed from the vacuum? I don't know. Right, okay. Sat in disuse for years as it was tied up in legal battles between Dr. Hart's next of kin, the university, the vanished grad student's family, and the other students Dr. Hart was working with. Eventually the case was settled out of court. Only recently did the property fall into the possession of Adrian's mother. So I guess he's her maternal grandfather. Obviously, I was not going to relay this whole tragic story to Adrian, who for all I know believes her grandpa to still be living in the basement of his home. Besides, I thought she might already know all of this. I mean, maybe? Perhaps the elaborate story she was constructing was her own way of escaping the morbid details of her life, or perhaps lives cut short by the cruel force of fate and the cynical adults who squabbled in the aftermath. Okay, but no, I can see why they squabbled, because obviously the students of the university and the family of the missing person probably knew about, maybe not so much the family, but the other students would have known about Whiskers, certainly. But, yeah, that's why they would have wanted the house. I determined perhaps the storytelling she was... I determined perhaps the storytelling she was and continues to engage in should not be encouraged by me, at least not in the way I went about it before, where I made active inquiries into her strange fantasy of a semi-sentient ball of skin. When I saw Adrian, I did not bring up her grandpa or ask questions about his growth. Adrian could not stop talking about it. However, I had no choice but to weather her bizarre and enthusiastic effusions about her new best friend. Okay. Listen. Adrian, perhaps we can talk about something else. I'm not sure I'm following you exactly. Oh, these sausages good. He's gotten so big. He has so many whiskers that come out, and I can see them move around when I think about him. It's using the whiskers to sense her thoughts. Ah. I'm not sure what you mean. I'm so happy Grandpa is back. He's so much cooler than Mum and Dad. Once again, for what it's worth, I have put down the story she told me as best I could. Adrian once again told me about growing her grandpa. Yo, name drop! Right. Let's go see Grandpa. Right. Grandpa needs more food now because he's bigger, that makes sense. He's a growing boy, is Grandpa. Right. Say hi to Grandpa. Hello, Grandpa! You've definitely gotten bigger. Noticing movements, respiration, and general mood. Grandpa's gums are bleeding slightly, and his skin seems overly dry. May need a food packed with vitamin C. A kiwi fruit would be an excellent remedy. Okay. You have gums? Well, I mean, I can see your mouth there. Yeah. You've got little spindly legs as well down at the bottom there. What else had spindly legs? I remember saying the phrase spindly legs recently. Yeah, he needs some fruit. Attempt to communicate? No response. Okay, he's not ready to talk yet. That's okay. Let's go find you some fruit. Head to the kitchen. A pear? Got a pear. I like a pear. And a strawberry. There we go. We've got plenty of fruits for Grandpa. Let's go to the study corner, see if we can find some stuff. Oh wait, that's just what we've already found. No new posters. Okay. Let's go through the file cabinet, clean things up a little bit. Maybe. We've still got the rest of the basement to look at as well, so might be able to find something. We'll see if we can conceal some stuff in the fruits as well to try and make him disgorge whatever equipment he swallowed from that one guy he apparently ate. You know, allegedly. He might not have eaten the guy, he might have just eaten his stuff. Because I'm pretty sure a big deal has been made that Grandpa has never eaten flesh. So he probably didn't eat the guy. Because apparently something horrible happens if Grandpa eats flesh. Doesn't look like we're finding much in the, no. Not in the, filing cabinets anyway, so let's go explore the basement. We'll be back soon, Grandpa. Hmm. Not really finding much of anything today. A few fruits in the fridge, that's about it. Maybe it has to be the intention of intentionally giving meat might have like a psychological effect on Grandpa, because it's all about like the psychology. It's I can't think of the right word of something that like consumes thoughts metaphysically. Like physically it consumes food, which doesn't have to be edible in the traditional sense, but metaphysically it consumes thoughts and sentient perceptions, and I don't know. I'm rambling into existentialism at the moment. Yeah, it has to be the act of feeding. The note specifically said that the type of food doesn't matter, it is the act of feeding. So yeah, consuming would be different to feeding. It is a semantic difference, but an important one. Onion? Oh, potato. I like potato. And life. Ooh, okay. That's something for Grandpa to learn about. Anything hiding in the painting today? Doesn't look like it. Potato, potato. Right. What about this trash pile? Let's look at the bulbous growth. Right, yeah, so I need to find a knife. And if Whiskers previously consumed someone's equipment, whether it was on a person or not, I am quite confident that that equipment would be a knife and a flashlight, because those are the two things we're missing in regards to exploring the basement. Right. Indecision. Ooh, that's going to be a big word for Grandpa. Right. Oh wait, that's the previous bulbous growth. We've got two bulbous growths. Yep, my posture is checked. I am upright because I am eating hot dogs. Kiwi! There we go. That's what Grandpa wanted. There we go. I'm sure he'll love that. Right. Let's go see Grandpa then. Let's see about concealing some unappealing items. Put a battery in the banana, a little bit of crunch. And let's put some fiberglass in the pear. There we go. I'm sure it'll be fine. Okay, Grandpa, we got some food for you. Go to Grandpa, please. Hi, Grandpa. I've got some yummy, tasty, totally not interfered with food for you. Let's start off by giving him some blueberries, you know, put him in a good mood. There you go. Now, how about a lovely, yummy pear? Excellent. Here you go. Although quickly consumed, the meal seems to be causing some indigestion. The sudden lurch, Grandpa empties its stomach onto the floor. Contents pool together in front of the cage. Okay. One moment, Grandpa. I'll be right back. One digestible food, one other. Grandpa recently emptied his stomach. Examine the stomach contents. A key! Still somewhat wet. Okay. So that's for the locked thing in the thing. In the bottom of the cabinet, I think. Hi, Grandpa. Would you like something else to eat? How about a yummy, crunchy banana? Ah, he doesn't want it. Okay, I'm sorry, Grandpa. Maybe tomorrow then, or next week. Here you go, how about a strawberry? There you go. Okay, see you in a minute, Grandpa. Maybe I should have started with the poison one. Oh well, let's go explore some more of the basement. See if I can unlock this drawer. Ooh! Photo of your mother as a young woman. Recognition of this face kicks off a cascade of emotion and meaning deep within your psyche. That's gonna give Grandpa a whole lot of fuel. Can I not? Can I not pick that one up? Is that one not important enough to pick up? Right, what happens if I glue a picture of Mom to the paper doll? A tangible symbol of intention of desire. I've created another effigy. Okay. Right then, let's go back. Can I poison Grandpa again now that he's had normal food? Or is he going to be too suspicious for the whole week? Hi, Grandpa. Crunchy banana? No, recently. Okay, too recent. Okay. Here's that kiwi then. You wanted a kiwi, didn't you? Indifferent to the smell, but will accept this as a meal. Well, it's got the vitamin C that you need to prevent scurvy. Here you go. Is that sufficient enough for you? There we are. So how about we teach you some words? Go to Grandpa, please. Thank you. Let's go with indecision first, because this one's going to take the longest. Oh. Get ready to uvulate, Grandpa. That's it, you're doing well. Oh, sorry, I couldn't click that one properly. This mini game is really difficult. I mean, it's an interesting way of doing it, definitely. But it's hard. Not that that's a complaint, just a observation. Come on, Grandpa, nearly there. There we are. Strange membates for Nate confidently. Ooh, well done! Well done! Good job. A lot better than hello. Excuse me. Choo choo choo. General pronunciation comments, articulation problems, possible trouble with diphthongs. Okay. We are introducing the latest growth of Whiskers to more subtle social cues and testing its ability to judge mental states of participants in conversation. The semantic content that flows to Whiskers via its psi field is still becoming muddled and slipped without distinction into conversation, although our intention of instilling it a solid theory of mind will perhaps make it begin to understand that we do not know what it knows, or know what we are without control to sending to it. Right. One would think a theory of mind seems to develop as part of its maturation process. In order to hunt sapient beings, it must be able to deceive them. In order to deceive, it must be able to make certain metacognitive judgments. For example, if their deception appears to be working, or how one ought to be deceived. Okay, right. We may never see it develop a theory of mind anytime soon, as Dr. Hart has disallowed a cycle of Whiskers' growth to live into the beginnings of maturity. Right, okay. So they are all incinerated before they mature. That makes sense. Oh, hey, Grandpa. Ready to learn another word? Life. Nope. Much more simple one after indecision. Close enough. It seems to have difficulty with its L sounds. General pronunciation comments? None. Yeah, man, compared to the last one, that was just, whew, that was a breeze. The week 3 of growth 24. Whiskers appeared to recall some information from a previous growth cycle. We cannot be sure that this was really the case. For all we know, what we interpreted as it recollecting this information was really it drawing semantic content from one of our recollections of it and redeploying it without rationality or contextualization. Now, is that true, or are you just rationalizing it away? For the sake of our safety and for the sake of scientific inquiry, we are attempting to draw out from Whiskers whether it somehow retains knowledge from previous cycles in its morphalactic nucleus. We did not think it was possible the nucleus, though complex and incredible in its regenerative abilities, was capable of this, and that the nerve network that grew from it made up the base of Whiskers' mind. And so we are now attempting to ask Whiskers, as best we can, if it has ever died, or what it might remember if it did. Wow, that's an existential question to drop on it. So, its its nucleus is the central mass that the body grows out of. The mass that is left over after each incineration. So it's possible that there is some kind of quote-unquote brain at the center of that nucleus that remembers previous incarnations. Okay, so we've achieved everything we can so far, I believe. So let's end the week and go. Oops, clicked off. Week 4. I don't know how many weeks are in this. Oh yeah, 5 weeks. 5 weeks is the absolute maximum it told us to allow it to live. So I suppose after week 5 it matures. Okay, cool. Time I have to spend compiling an evaluation on Adrienne is almost up, and I still can't say what to make of her changes in mood. It is of course the case that children of Adrienne's age are nowhere near finished learning and growing. I may have to simply be happy that Adrienne was able to improve her attitude. However, something in the odd and occasionally grotesque stories she continues to bring up to me still strike me as meaningful. How has your week been, Adrienne? Grandpa is almost ready. He's almost finished. Well, sort of. He's almost as big as his shell now. He has a face, and he can talk pretty well. Oh, he's got a face. Good for him. And almost has legs. Spindly legs. I see. Oh. I'm pretty sure Spindly Legs was from the analog horror that we watched last week. Sorry. I'm following a completely different train of thought here, but that's what happens when you have ADD. As before, I have put down the story she told me as best I could. Okay, so we're going back into the basement. Growing her grandpa, pa. Right, let's go say hi to Grandpa. Hey Grandpa, how you doing? How you looking? Oh, look at you! You've got like a torso, you've got like legs, you've got whatever these flappy things are. Good for you. Grandpa seems fatigued and almost anemic. Some of its spines appear brittle. Perhaps it would be more cooperative if fed an iron-rich meal like meat. Oh wow. No response. Okay, he's still not ready yet. Offer mother doll? We'll do that in a minute. Right. Right, let's go clean up. Oop. La da dee, la da da. Alright, nothing in here. Okay. File cabinet 2. Just picking up the trash. Dump it in the can. Alright, nothing in here today. I suppose it's getting to the point where I'm not going to find anything out here. I have to look in secret places. What have we got? An apple. A jackfruit. That's often used as a meat substitute. I wonder if that would be okay. Let's explore the rest of the basement. In the cabinet. Oop. Found another note card. That's going to be more vocabulary, I assume. Vocabulary. Meaning. Ooh, that's going to be an interesting one to teach him. A new bulbous growth. Nothing in there. Yes, very diligent. Okay, I'm really gonna need a knife. La la la. Oops. Ooh. That looks like a pita bread. Flatbread, yeah, close enough. Right. Another trash pile. Search trash pile. Right, I think we're gonna have to go poison Grandpa again. Poor fella. Ooh. Ooh, what's this? Mushroom. Collect all the foods. Oh, I've collected all the foods, yay. Symbol. Right. Okay, Grandpa. Sorry to do this to you, but it's... Yes, mushrooms are very good meat substitutes. Corn, for example. I've eaten corn chicken burgers that I didn't know were corn the first time I had them, because they were that good. Oh, Grandpa, you look different. Right. Again, sorry to do this, but you've got a nasty inside you that you need... You need to cough up out of you, you know, better out than in. Alright, sorry, Grandpa. Aww. Aw, don't worry, I'll give you some good food in a minute. Aw, said he appeared dejected and skulked back to his corner. Aw. Don't worry, I'll get you some real food. Ooh, scissors. So, I guess I'm going to use these to cut open the bulbous growths. Right, that's the dark corner, I can't go up there yet. Ugh. Many small, increate beings lay motionless and dead. However, you just barely hear the near silent slithering of something, or maybe it's just your imagination. Oh, guts! I don't even know what I'm picking up. Whatever it is, it's grody. What am I achieving here? Oh, there's one. Hello? Anthropoid Remnant 1. Self-sufficient animal from knit together from years of ambient thoughts left to crawl around the basement. Grandpa may enjoy the flesh. Ah! Okay. So I guess these are the things that sloughed off Grandpa in his attempt, well, Whiskers, in its attempts to create something sentient to feed off. Little friends! Oh, how darling. Alright, there's another bulbous growth over here. I guess we're doing the same kind of thing. Now, oh, there's another one. Hey, little fella. So, that note about the old keeper from the Ural region, said to never feed it meat, never feed it flesh. Do we feed him flesh? I wonder if that affects the ending that you get. Remnant 3. So remnant number 2 must be in the other bulbous growth. Ooh. Ooh. Yeah, I don't think there's going to be anything else in here, so I'll just leave. Okay, Grandpa, I'm going to come feed you some real food this time. Right, for this playthrough, because I do intend to do a playthrough where I do the other ending to whichever one I get. But for this playthrough, I'm not gonna give him flesh, or at least I'm gonna try and not to give him flesh. If I can't find any more food, and I have to feed him more, then maybe I guess I have to, but at this moment, I do not intend to feed him meat. Hello. Would you like a jackfruit? Yeah. There you go. And then we've got a mushroom. There we go. Seems indifferent to the smell. And then one more. Let's get an apple for those good sugars. There you go. You happy now? Grunts and appreciation. Locomote sword, his favourite corner. There we go. He's all happy now. After we poisoned him and ran away last time. It's like, oh, I'm sorry. Well, can we give him the mother doll? Do you want this? Not interested. I suppose he's not sentient enough to understand it yet. Alright, let's teach you some more words. Let's go for meaning. There we go, you're getting it. Nearly there. Yeah. Not quite, but you tried. Right. No notes on pronunciation. We further delved into abstraction with Whiskers, partially, or perhaps for the most part, for the purpose of determining the origin of its recollections that precede its death. Dr. Hart has begun to theorize that in the process of death, the structure of Whiskers is compressed back into the morphophalic nucleus, and then later, upon re-establishing the nerve netting that is laced through its spines, is slowly reassembled and redeployed as needed. That's... Interesting. Interesting. So it doesn't... Because it doesn't have organs, every part of its body acts as itself. I guess. So everything that makes it can technically be condensed into any remote part of itself, I suppose. I do not think this is the case, for I can plainly see that for growth cycles in which Whiskers is not receiving our pronunciation and vocabulary lessons, that its capacity general for comprehending its environment is greatly diminished, and in the simulated conversations we carry out, Whiskers struggles greatly, or else does not participate. Do you remember in an earlier lesson you were talking about indecision and its possibility for deception? You were trying to measure whether it has capability for deception. I mean, I'm just saying. In any case, we will press on with our lessons and heed Dr. Hart's caution regarding terminating the growth cycle before Whisker's allotted growth time passes, or if it appears to be becoming just a little too competent at appearing human. Because, you know... I mean, it's entirely possible. It is entirely possible that it can lie. We don't know that its lack of coherence is a lack of intelligence, is a lack of intent. We don't know. We don't know. Right. Time for another word, Grandpa. Hello. Right, let me just take another bite, take another drink. My throat is getting a little tired. Too much uvulating. Alright. Symbol. Let's go. Oop. Oh, come on. There we go. Oh, that one was really good. Well done. Right. General pronunciation comments. There is nothing. There appears to be nothing written here, or if there was, it was thoroughly erased. Oh. Oh. Symbol. What could that mean? What could they have taught it about symbol, or the... A symbol as in an effigy? Huh. Maybe. Well, we'll see what Grandpa gets up to next week. Alright, see you next week, Grandpa. Bye. Exactly, yeah. Symbology is a sort of condensed way of conveying meaning, and meaning is part of desire. So yeah. Week 5. Okay, this has got to be our final week before Grandpa grows up, right? Or this is the week that Grandpa grows up. Oh, where's Adrienne? Who could that be? Adrienne? Come in. Ah, Adrian. No, it's Adrienne, isn't it? Oh, well, never mind. Good to see you. Aren't you a little early? No matter. I suppose I have some time now. How have you been doing? How is your grandpa doing? The fact that that Adrienne is the one that's actually reaching out first. She's becoming more assertive and more connective. Sorry. My throat is a little dry and scratchy. Okay, we might actually be finishing growing your grandpa a little earlier than I expected, so we might do a little bit of inscription as well before we go. How have you been doing? How is grandpa doing? Oh, that's why I wanted to talk to you. Something happened. Oh, what happened? Nothing bad, I hope. No, nothing bad. Just different, I think. Maybe even good. Well, I'll tell you about it. Well, last night, something woke me up. There was noise at first. It was like it came from the walls. I could hear it from my bedroom, but there was something else. Oh, is it Grandpa? Has Grandpa woken up? Something calling. I could hear it just barely. I was afraid somehow Grandpa hurt himself. I had to go find out. I went down the stairs, and the vent, the place where I first found Grandpa, or what I grew him with, it was open. Do you remember how I told you about the vent in the ceiling behind the bars? I was thinking he had climbed up into it. He had gotten so big, he could have done that. Maybe he had gotten trapped somehow in the vent. I had to go see. Uh-oh, I don't like this. I got inside. I heard the calling again, more clearly this time. Grandpa was definitely in the vent somewhere. I could feel him hearing my thoughts. I got that weird feeling, a sense in the air. I had to go forward. Grandpa? Oh god. As I moved in closer, the vent had stuff in it. Kind of slimy, hairy stuff Grandpa would leave around a lot. He was definitely close. Grandpa, are you okay? Something was there at the end. Oh, it's pulsing. But it wasn't Grandpa. It looked maybe like he had made it through. Oh, it was slumped in the corner, had a weird mouth, and it had lungs on the outside and drew in just enough air to call out. And then it just stopped. Stopped breathing. And then something was hanging over me. Grandpa? And then I woke up in my bed. In your bed? Adrian, it sounds like it was quite the dreadful dream. Are you alright, by the way? Your face is twitching, like you're about to have a violent sneeze. Oh yeah, her eyebrows and her lips and nose is good. I'm fine. It's just Grandpa. You see, it took a little while to figure out, but... Later when I was brushing my teeth, I saw one of Grandpa's whiskers poking just out of the space under my eye. Oh... Oh dear. I started to remember how in the vent he hid inside of me. Oh. So fast I could barely remember, but soon I started to feel him sliding around in my head. Oh, I don't like that. Behind my forehead and behind my eyes and nose. It doesn't hurt at all, it's just ticklish. I guess he must have left his old body to die, sloughed off and gone inside of her. I'm glad I can be with him. Oh, I can feel him now. I think he wants to meet you. Part of him is moving down my arm. Oh. I'm starting to get worried, Adrian. You really should not be twitching like this. I should walk you to the nurse's office. Come on, let's go. You should really meet him. I've told you so much about him. Here. What are you doing, Adrian? You're starting to look very ill. Please, just wait. Oh, just stay still. He's gathering, waiting at my fingertips. Grandpa? Oh god. Why do you look like that? You don't have to be afraid. Look. Oh! Oh. Well, that wasn't good. Is it stuck? Hello, Grandpa? Oh. There are two endings in Growing My Grandpa. You got the failure of fulfillment ending. Okay. Oh. Oh, okay. Let's do the, I'm gonna mute that because it's quite a grating noise. So yeah, I guess I got the bad ending. Maybe I did have to feed him meat in order for his body not to die. Maybe... What was that one? Sorry. Yeah, I think I might have had to feed him meat so that he doesn't die. I didn't get to find the flashlight, so I'll play another playthrough, not tonight. Either tomorrow, if I get to do tomorrow's stream, or sometime in the week, I will do another playthrough, where I'll do it quicker, sort of zip through it. I will, in the first week, I will try to feed him a poisoned food, and then when we get to the end of the week, I will feed him meat, and see if that see if that helps him survive and gets me a different ending. But yeah, that was fun. That was interesting. Oop. Okay, and we're back. Right, this is the new stuff. Or at least we're going to begin the new stuff. Hopefully this should get us to our second ending. Let's feed Grandpa. Hello. Would you like some concealed soap? How you're not able to smell the soap, I don't know, but there you go. Right, I'll be back with some real food in a minute. Aw. Don't worry, we'll get you some food in a minute. I just want to do some more exploring first. What did you... There we are, a flashlight. Now we can go into the spooky dark corner. Ooh. Alright, waste bin. Oh. There's a code here. I don't know what it is. It'll probably be in one of the documents somewhere. Oop, okay, so we've got another paper doll. And we've got... Discourse on the subordination of hidden beings. Huh. Right, okay. On the virtue of the prudent when dealing with devils of seen or unseen. The splendours and terrors of God's creations inhabit the world of both seen and unseen, and just as one will not grapple with a lion, lest they be a fool, one will not approach a being of the mind or aether without foreknowledge thereof. There are beings with no form, hiding between towering columns of air, and only appearing by slipping into the heart or mind of evil and unclean men. But still, there are more beings which straddle the realm between these seen and unseen creatures, feeling through the air to see the heart or mind of men. It is only by God's grace and his angels and servants crushing these beings under heel that a magician might compel them to the magician's will, and so a magician must be perfectly clear and unerring in intent and ritual granted to us by God, or else the devils, seen or unseen, will devour them, that being their nature. On the nourishing of devils of a particular type, certain devils of a particular nature are nourished by the element of fire, others by attention and prayer given to their idols, still others by stranger and more obscure means. By God's grace, the requirement for nourishing a devil as part of a contract only requires a token of these givings. That is a symbol. So like the symbol we originally created in order to grow Grandpa. If a devil hungers after flesh and would strip a man to his bones in its devouring, the devil's hunger in nature, which thirsts for flesh, can be held in abeyance in the ritual act of giving blood in only a few drops. Yeah, that makes sense. However, the contract must be completed in full, for if the magician errs and does not provide in the devil instruction and guidance, the devil, once abjured to do no harm upon the magician, will return to its devouring nature. Okay, so make sure you complete your end of the contract, otherwise the demon gonna screw you up. Right, I remember the first time I played there was a code that I wrote down for this, but I have no idea where that would be now, so I'm gonna have to go look in the details for it. That's okay. Let me see. Look over documents. I don't remember which one it would be in. Right. I'm just gonna see if we can find one. I meant to read more. I clicked back as in back off the card rather than go back. Whoops. Ah, 323245. 323245. 323245. 323245. 323245. 323245. There we go. Oh gosh. Photo of your father as a young man. Recognition. This face kicks off a cascade of emotion and meaning deep within your psyche. Right, okay. So I'm figuring the photos of Mom and Dad are going to be attached to the paper dolls to create more symbols of desire for the demon. Alright. Let's go to Grandpa, see if we can teach him some words to say. Right. Come on. Symbol. Very good, Grandpa. Let's teach him the second word. And then we're going to feed him meat. Because, I know that's what he wants. Come on, Grandpa, you're almost there. There we go. Not your best. Right. Right. Oh! He's changed again. He's gone into sort of like a cocoon. Right. Well, it's time to feed Grandpa. You want some meat, Grandpa? Ooh. Yeah, he definitely wants the meat. Ooh. The meal appears to have been particularly well received. That took longer than it did previously. Offering of flesh, there's something within Grandpa. From within the folds of his body, a wiry, proboscis-like appendage begins to emerge. Oh! Maybe worth taking a look at this after the feeding. Oh, well done, Grandpa. You've grown a proboscis. Let me ask about your proboscis. Right, would you like another one? So he doesn't want any more yet. Okay, fair enough. He doesn't want all the meat all the time. Have a potato instead. You gotta have meat and potatoes. Come on, that's the classic. So he's fine with a potato. How about a mushroom? Okay. Well, if you're all good. Grandpa's proboscis is out. Examine proboscis. You motion to Grandpa to approach and point to the thin protuberance. Grandpa silently ambles close to the bars and fully extends it towards you. Hello? Okay, it's very spindly. Minuscule needle extends from its tip. There appears to be one more thing you must give, if only this for the sake of propriety. Ah, this is the blood sacrifice, isn't it? Give it a little bit of blood. How do I do? Do I just poke? Do I just poke? What do I do? Oh, is this where I, okay, Dad, and a paper doll. Do you want that? Is that what you want? Grandpa? Ow! No, he wanted the blood. Okay, fair enough. Grandpa has appreciated your blood offering. It will receive a symbol or totem from you now, although only one per offering. Okay, so now I can give... And now I can give you the totem. Offer Father doll. Grandpa's spines quickly reach out and they envelope the doll before drawing back. The doll quickly vanishes within the folds of Grandpa's skin. Constructing and then offering your father's image to Grandpa, symbolically sated by blood, instills in you a concrete sense of completion. Grandpa gives a soft affirming grunt as it senses deep within your mind the ritual transformation of your desire. You're gonna make me a new daddy? Although Grandpa must receive both a mother and father totem before the fulfillment of your wish is assured. Okay, just chilling there, yeah. Grandpa appears content and ready to cooperate. Okay, good for you, Grandpa. I'm gonna go now. I think I've done everything that I can do for this week. So, yeah, see you next week, Grandpa. I think. Maybe. Yes. Alright, click through. Yeah. Okay, we're back. So, for the edit, sorry about that. I accidentally did it wrong. I should have fed Grandpa the meat a week earlier before it prompted me to do so, which allows me the extra week at the end to give him another effigy. In the edit, I gave him father first, the dad first, but this time around I did mom first, just to see if there was any difference, but there wasn't. So I think we're ready to feed Grandpa another offering of meat. There he is, hi. Gonna give him the second arthropod. There we are. Have another little bit of meat, and I should be able to make another offering to him after that. Yeah. Right, yeah, we're just gonna feed you the extra little bits to make sure you're nice and full. See, he likes blueberries. For most of the other foods, he's indifferent towards them, but he likes the blueberries. How about this? Oh, and jackfruit. Maybe he just likes fruit. Although he didn't really like the kiwi. Anyway, we fed him. He's full. So let's give him another blood offering if we can, and give him the other effigy. Again, I left father till last this time just to see if there was any difference between them. There wasn't. So, right. Time for another blood offering. Owie! And we will now give him the father doll. He now has mother and father. And this should take us to completed contract. There we go. So we should, I think, have another week to actually talk to Grandpa. Grandpa appears content and ready to cooperate. Okay. Grandpa accedes to your request. It approaches the bars and begins to unknit its skin. Okay, so yes, I think now that we've completed the contract, we should be able to talk to him about everything. The inner Grandpa, though still not fully formed, is revealed. May be fruitful to speak with it if it can respond. Oh, hi Grandpa. Oh. Okay, ask about wish. Oh. Grandpa loudly clears its throat before gently responding in a lucid, well-projected voice. Ah, you're asking me about your wish? When you wished for me to come back, that's when I knew I would. Your desperation was strong, and your wish for your parents, well, if you give me what I want, I'll give you what you want. I think I've given him what he wants. He's got meat, he's got a symbol of intent. You know I love you. I am for you whatever you want, and I love you just as much as you love me. But desperation and love is not enough. People deep down know they can't get what they wish for without some transformation. So I'm assuming that's like the sacrifice I've given, the blood sacrifice. Excuse me. There is something that sits at the root of everyone's soul that understands the separation between them and eternity. You may desire something, but you know you will not get it without some movement on your part. Yeah. So it is not enough just to wish, which you know will not work, but you must wish and a little more to transform your intention into something that might fructify or desire to become reality. Yeah. So that's very basic, really. Like, you can wish and hope and dream all you want, but unless you actually put something into it, those wishes will never come true. In reality, it's motivation, it's hard work, it's actually going out there and doing things and making the change, whereas in this instance, we're talking about a pact with a demon, so, you know, not entirely one-to-one, but yeah, I say what you're saying, Grandpa. Grandpa, you're so wise. Ask about Grandpa's shell. Ah, you're asking me about my shell. Well, you see, I like to have something to grow in, something shaped like a person. It just helps to have something surrounding me when I don't have skin. My whiskers do the growing. My whiskers, yes, you know, the little hairy things. I am a part of it, and it is a part of me. However, my whiskers are what heard you wishing for me to come back, and so they went to work in the shell you provided. The shell also helps you envision me as what do you desire? You have such a nice imagination. If I weren't in my shell, you'd have exposed my whiskers and knitting together my face. Oh, you'd have my whiskers exposed and knitting together my face. That might interrupt the feedback loop of my reading your desires, and then acting upon the desires I have read, and then once again reading your reaction. We wouldn't want that interfered with. The material of the doll you put down is a good fit. Okay, so yeah, the shell creates a layer of separation between the demon and the observer. So if you were to observe him growing, you would know that he's not really the thing that you want him to grow into, which would then create negative feedback for the actual growing process. So if he's growing into Grandpa, but you see very much during the process that he is not Grandpa, then he's going to grow into something that is not Grandpa. I don't know how to say that succinctly, but that's the idea behind it I'm getting. It's not the most comfortable, but it's quite flexible, and thankfully my shell was able to adjust nicely to my growth. Oh, that's good. Good for you, Grandpa. Ask about the biohazard bin. The Wedigal waste bin. I believe it's locked up. I heard them punch it in the code many times as they placed part of burnt-up, dying self into the bin. They often forgot what the code was and had to go check on the wall where they were always taping up sheets upon sheets of information. So much so that the new papers would cover the old. What do you think you would find in there? Or perhaps something they did throw in the trash from time to time, bits of paper and so forth. I remember seeing a man who looked quite like me. His daughter had given him a photo of her new boyfriend. That's the original Grandpa taking the photo of father, of dad, which I've already found. I'm guessing these would be hints to find everything to complete the true ending, but I already did that ahead of time. Threw it into the bin in disgust and joked with one of his colleagues. It may still be in there for all I know. It was. Thank you, Grandpa, but I already knew that. Ask about language. Excuse me. You're asking about language. Well, the more you taught me, the more I was able to learn myself by hearing what you are thinking and saying. A week ago, I could speak a little bit, but I was less of what you imagined me to be, and not quite the talker I am at the moment. Part of what I am saying is, of course, made up of what you expect me to say. I think I am very comfortable being open and honest with you because I am your Grandpa and I love you, and that certainly makes up part of what I am. However, there is part of me deeper down, the thing that created me maybe, that undying nucleus. It is answering for me as well, and is unaffected by whoever might shape what I become with their thoughts. Yeah, so that's kind of like the balance between it creates an image and adapts to the thoughts and desires of the person imprinting on it. So, you know, I am your Grandpa and I love you, and there may well be some element of genuineness about that, but at the same time, what it is deep down still has its own thoughts and intentions, which ultimately are unknown. We don't know what this thing truly wants. And it's like, if this demon, this thing, had fallen into the hands of anyone else but a lonely little girl, it could have been catastrophic and disastrous. But all she wants is Grandpa, so maybe that has dulled the senses and the intentions of the demon. Who knows? We don't know. Little friends. Oh yes, they come from me. They grow around me in pockets of flesh and protoplasm. Think of them like dreams, maybe. I'll explain. Have you ever had a dream? No, I'm not going to do that. Have you ever had a dream that was sort of like a bunch of people, places, and events you experienced, all mixed up together and jumbled up? It's a sorting through and disposing of the refuse of the mind. My little friends are like that, refuse, and in ridding myself of them, I am casting off the excess material that I did not use in developing life forms. Anyone who comes close to me, well, they are my eyes, my nose, my skin. Their thoughts become mine and shape what I make. However, when I was alone for so long, I didn't have a lot of people near me. What are you thinking and expecting of me is shaping what I'm saying, how I'm saying it. Do you understand? And so, because I did not have enough input from my surroundings in order to put the material to use, the material falls off my body, crawls away, and usually dies. I'm able to make the most of my material when someone is looking right at me, projecting who I will be, like you are right now. What you are thinking and expecting of me is shaping what I'm saying, how I'm saying it. Do you understand? Yeah, kind of. So because... So he had a certain amount of biomass that he was made up of, but because he didn't have enough external stimulus to shape that biomass into something, he kind of sloughed it off as leftovers. Like obsolete things that were no longer needed, I think, is what I'm gathering from that, at least. Grandpa's proboscis. Oh, wow. It is just a little tube I keep to help me feed on blood. You could say it is my real mouth, but it is not really a mouth. It appeared because you fed me flesh. One of those little friends you found, I think. You feeding me flesh was a symbol, proposition, if you will, that you wanted to hold up your end of the bargain with regards to your wish. If someone is willing to hold up their end of the bargain and let me feed on them with my proboscis, then they could move on to the next step of the agreement, providing me symbolic instructions. I hope that helps clear things up. Oh, you have another question? Do I like blood? Well, my whiskers, I believe they like the blood and the flesh. It's strange. They are me, and yet they are now me. They are me, and yet they are now me. Is that supposed to say not me? Is that a typo? It feels like that's a typo. So I'm just going to assume it says they are me, and yet they are not me. Oops. Sorry, I accidentally clicked out the window. I am bound to them. They control me, and technically, yes, they did make me. However, you were the one who really grew me. In some ways, those whiskers, they are me, or a part of myself, or I am a part of it. That part is much more animal-like. Whatever might happen, know that I will always love you, and because it controls me, I might not be able to act how I would like, even if I do love you. Yeah, that's kind of expanding on what I was saying earlier. There is a core to the demon that can maybe override the intentions that Grandpa was grown with. Completed contract. Thank you so much for completing the contract. I'll definitely help you out with your parents. Just give me a little time and I'll be ready to act. I think you'll be very happy. Your grandpa is very happy too. You did it all by yourself, you know. I couldn't have helped you if I tried. I would really not have liked to, well, I did not want you to complete the contract. I would have hated that. Oh, to not complete the contract. Right. But do you understand why I would have had to? Maybe you don't. So much of your lives are made up, and yet what comes to pass was always once a fiction. You doubt yourself and your plans before they are even begun, and you believe what is in front of you as if the essence of things was not something you put there long ago. Too much doubt can suffocate even the surest thing. Only with patience and growth and nurturing does something become what it will be. As soon you shall see. What am I getting from that? Maybe perhaps the idea that everything that we know in the world was of our own creation. Well, not everything, but humanity, society, science, education, construction, everything that we have made of the world was once nothing. And the reason the world is the way it is now is because we created that way, I think is what I'm getting from that. Oh, is that everything we could talk about now? Okay, goodbye, Grandpa. Okay, so I think that's everything we can do with Grandpa. I think it's time to finally move on to the end. Right. Alright, let's see. Ah yes, it is different this week. I met with Adrienne one final time in order to see if I could not reach some sort of resolution regarding her emotional trouble. In these past few weeks, according to the reports of her teachers and peers, she has shown a remarkable transformation in conduct. I would also add my voice to this consensus. Seems as if in our time together much has changed for the better. I am not suggesting our meetings were the sole source of her sea change? The sole source of her sea change. Okay. I think something has happened in her home life that has reoriented Adrienne completely. She seems to suggest as much, at least in her usual esoteric way when we last spoke. Something tells me something may have changed with Grandpa. Yes, well, something did change. I will write down her words verbatim here. Oh, excuse me. I went down the stairs like I always did, but I sort of felt like something was different. My parents weren't arguing, and I felt something had changed with Grandpa too. There was a weird noise, but I wasn't afraid. Oh. Looks like the door is the only place I can go. Ooh. Oh. Hi, Mom and Dad. And Grandpa. What's... Oh. Did Grandpa grow me new parents? I think Grandpa had to leave, but before he left he made my parents nice. He reached inside and changed them. That was my wish. Maybe even what I was growing wasn't really my Grandpa. Grandpa left what I was growing behind. He's gone now. He moved quickly out to I don't know where, but I'll always love him. I dismissed Adrienne soon after, letting her know it was a pleasure getting to know her. Despite my apprehensiveness about the speed of the turnaround she has made, I cannot say any reason why Adrienne should be considered for further evaluation. Really? Because even if that all was just a made-up story, that's kind of like a really, really disturbing story for a child to make up. You know? I would at least consider talking to her parents, you know? Like, the very bare minimum, if you have a troubled child, is probably to talk to their parents at some point, but, what do I know? As counsellor for Adrian, let it be known that I believe she is of sound mental and emotional health. I'm not entirely sure I believe with you. Like, as a child who visited psychologists and psychiatrists and went through this kind of thing, yeah, it's a game. I am pleased to see things turn out this way, and if I may make a brief addendum, by happenstance, Mrs. Richardson bumped into the Hart family the other day while running an errand. She told me the parents were a little odd, but very pleasant, and quite clearly they adored their child, and that she had never seen Adrienne happier. I don't know if... You can't really apply logic to to like horror games like this. But I don't know, if you had like a child who had been talking about how mean and angry and like their parents were, and like the parents argued, and there was like a lot of just gonna let the credits play here for a second. You know, a lot of disquiet and unrest in the home, and then suddenly the parents show up and they're like extremely... I don't know. I don't know. But no, it was a good game. I'm glad I came back to... What was that name? I'm glad I came back to check out the other ending. Very good. A hot man, wow. So yeah. Glad we finally got around to doing it, growing my grandpa. I mentioned it a while ago when playing Faith, when I did the first recording of Faith, which was a good few years ago now. But yeah, nice to finally see the end of it. Maybe we'll check out some more Yames Games stuff in future, some of his other games. But for now, that was growing my grandpa. I'm just going to let the mean man and let the credits play out. I think that these are all the supporters, like the Patreon backers and stuff. Oh, okay. We've gone back to the beginning. Alright, let's go back to the hangout room then. So that was fun. I liked that. Yeah, I mean, I've seen a bunch of Yames games before, and it was good to play. Very interesting, good play mechanics. But yeah, I enjoyed that. Thought it was good. I think I'm gonna go make myself a hot drink to try and soothe my throat a little, because my throat is being a bit scratchy. But I do want to continue streaming if I can. I just want to try and take it easy on my voice a little bit more. But yeah, enjoyable. I hope you guys enjoyed it, especially the ones who asked for it and made the suggestions. Because I think that was worth it. It was on sale as well. I was already planning to buy it this week for the Halloween weekend, but it went on sale just as I was about to buy it, and you know, it's a pretty good price as is. You know, it's not that much. It's under, I believe full price is under $10, so the reduction took it down quite a bit. But yeah, real good.